Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales from the Catalogs. My name is Marcy, and I am so glad to be the one welcoming you to this very special episode. Now, quick disclaimer this is a work of fiction. Any and all names or places that match real life are purely coincidental. Now, this episode is also quite heavy, so content warning. This episode has mentions of sexual abuse, rape, and murder. If you're not comfortable with these topics, feel free to log off now and come back for another episode where you're more comfortable. Take care of your own space, and I would rather you don't, how you put this, risk your own emotional health for an episode. You may come back to this whenever you feel a little more ready, or you can skip entirely. Take care of yourself. Now, shall we get into the episode? To your right, there is a door. Once you cross this threshold, you shall weave your life with the threads of your unbecoming. It will unfold before you, grasp you, and you have no choice but to hold its darkness. For in darkness, we have reason to find the light.
The first thing I remember seeing when I woke up was a tree. Not a small tree or trees lined up leading to the forest. It was one huge tree in the middle of nowhere, big as a building, its branches sticking to each other like a wooden waterfall by the trunk of the tree. The tree stood tall by the side of an empty road. No lights, no people. Just me, the tree, and this unexplainable feeling of emptiness in my chest. I feel hollow, like I'm but a shell of something that has passed me. At least I feel like that for a moment. The road is rough and cold, and I feel the shake in my body as I slowly get up, like I've been asleep for a long time and my bones have started to rust, slowly crumbling. That is when the voices start to flood bit by bit. One voice after another. The emptiness I once felt in my chest was slowly filled to the brim with anguish, grief, helplessness, and most of all, this undeniable rage. Each of these voices were a cacophony of these emotions, clamoring one by one to be heard. A messy choir, in a way, of fears and screams. It felt like something metal being scraped against porcelain. My head started to hurt. My chest felt so constricted. It was all I could hear at the moment. It was all I could hear the moment I got up and saw the tree. I couldn't discern anything with these voices. Nothing but one word.
Help us.
Then, as quickly as it rose, it simply died down into a soft song of cicadas in the night. And then I heard a voice.
So, you heard that too.
I ran. I picked up whatever was left of the strength in my bones and urged my feet to take the step forward. I don't know what that was, who that was, why I woke up on the road in the middle of nowhere. All I knew was that I was so scared. So I ran, as fast and as far as my feet could take me. I ran down the road, and then I took a turn, and I hoped and I prayed to any God listening that I would be able to find someone in the middle of nowhere that can help me. The cicadas, they started to fade into the background, and I thought, I must be far away now. I must have ran far enough to get away from the sounds, the tree, the voice. I don't care what it was. I do not care what it means. I don't know why I'm here. I need to get help. I need someone to help me. I must have ran far enough. I thought I ran far enough until I hear it again. The cicadas fading into my ears. My pace only began to pick up the more it got louder. I don't even know how long I was running for. I don't know how I kept my breath steady or my feet unfeeling. And just as I thought I was in the clear after running down the God knows how long road, I am met with the tree. Again. The same cicada song. I shake my head. This can't be. I was getting away. I was gonna get away. So I start to run again. I kept running and running and running, and I made the same turn, and I went down the same road, and it felt like it only went down one path, but I followed it. Only to come back to the same tree. Why does it keep taking me back? I thought maybe if I ran away many, many times, I would finally find a way out. Maybe I would be able to leave this never-ending loop. So I did. I ran again. And I ran, and I ran, and I ran, and I didn't stop. Just like that. Back to the same tree. Something was wrong. Something was truly, utterly wrong.
Are you done yet?
The same voice spoke in the dark. It felt strange. How the sound echoed to the very core of me. I turned to the tree, and I don't remember how many times I've started to run away. It felt like hours, maybe days. It felt like a never-ending loop of timelessness. Maybe that's what it was.
I have all the time in the world, you know. If you want to have another run, go ahead.
Who are you?
Finally, a question. I was waiting for you to get over that tantrum. Don't worry, this usually happens for the new ones.
The new ones?
You have been running in circles for a while. I'm surprised it did not occur to you once. Oh dear. Come closer to the tree, if you please.
Why should I? I take a step back from the tree, feeling the same inexplicable weight on my chest suddenly overtake me again, as if all my energy from running had numbed it for a while before it decided to make itself known yet again. A small sigh came from the tree.
If I looked like you, would you be more comfortable?
I would still know you're not human.
Fair. But I would also not look like a tree talking to you.
I pause and take a moment. Looking around, I see that there is nowhere else to go. Nothing else in sight but the tree. If I go down the road again, for sure I will return to the same place. I let myself contemplate. And the more I contemplated, the more the tree was silent. Almost as if it was waiting for me to speak. Why am I here?
We're finally asking the right questions. A great step. It's always one of the hardest things I have to reveal for the new ones who wake up on my doorstep. Not that hard for me. I've done this many times in different ways. What is rather hard is how you would receive it.
Am I dead?
Well...
Oh shit. I am, aren't I?
Well, that honestly makes my job so much easier.
As much as I was very guarded, I felt as if the voice had taken on a more comforting tone. Soothing, welcoming. Something I do not entirely trust.
I know you probably don't think I'm very trustworthy as of right now. I am, but a disembodied voice talking to you, telling you you're dead.
I shift my feet, fiddling with my dress. It feels like thin fabric, sort of like lace. I take the time to look down and see that I was wearing a dress. A dress I do not remember wearing. Then again, I don't remember the last thing I wore. Thinking about it, trying to look back, it felt like feeling for a brick wall at the end of an alley. There is nothing there for me. No memory, no glimpse, just nothingness.
So, I will be giving you the option to ask me your questions.
I can?
Yes, dear. Anything you need to know. I'll try my best to let you catch up.
There are so many questions I wanted to ask. The basics, how I died, who killed me. Yet there were also others lingering in the back of my mind. How old was I when I died? Where did it happen? Did anyone know about it? The voice at the tree was silent as I thought quietly. What would be the one question that could open a door for me without immediately falling into a hole? Because that was the one thing I feared. Falling with nothing else to hold on to. I'm dead. I didn't need more than that. Who are you?
I am many things. A tree, a drive, the road one must not take alone in the dark of night. However, most of my clients call me a doctor.
A doctor?
I did not understand it either. But then, I found it amusing when someone like you, who ended up here, called me a doctor. I've used the name since then.
Someone like me. How did I end up here? Apart from the whole me being dead.
You did not die as others would expect to die. Clean, quick, without struggle. You died carrying the anger, despair, and injustice as you crossed over.
What do you mean by that? I asked, but the tree did not respond as quickly. I was met by a long silence. I looked around the vicinity. It was the same long road that led to nowhere, the same tree in the middle of the road. It was there I finally saw the sign rooted on the dirt, standing just at the curve of the road. Balete Drive. Balete Drive. My thoughts in the silence was interrupted by the rustle of wind and leaves, snapping my head to the direction of the tree again as I stood there. In the distance, I could make out a figure move in the darkness, and I felt a chill up my spine.
Who's there?
I call out, feeling the chill slowly envelop my shoulder, but colder, more tangible. I look over my shoulder slowly, turning my head to the side to see my fingers. No, a hand, pale and bruised, gripping onto my shoulders. I froze. It felt like ice, how it squeezed my skin and whispered the words in my ears.
Turn around.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to see what image waited behind me. Yet it spoke again, and it sounded almost like an echo to me.
You have seen me many times before. There is no need to be scared of looking at something you are familiar with.
It spoke in my voice. I took a deep breath, my chest shaking as I swallowed all hesitation. You are dead. You are dead. You are dead, I remind myself. I am now the ghost story that once scared me to sleep as a kid. Nothing else scarier than that. I slowly turn around, looking fully over my shoulder to see another girl. The same height as me, the same dress, the same voice. But what really made my heart sink are her eyes. Eyes that were wide as clouds. It felt like a numb surface that hid so much anguish. It was only then I took a longer look that I realized it was me. I could not remember anything else before waking up here. I don't even remember what I look like, but seeing her opened a small crack to a door I am now realizing I don't want to open. She stood there, staring at me blankly. Her skin was pale, almost blue. Her neck was wrapped in shades of red and purple, something akin to strangle marks. Her hands were dirty, like there was dirt underneath her fingernails, as if she crawled on the ground and sunk her fingers forcefully into the earth. I stared back, and all I felt was grief. An undeniable, gut-wrenching, immense grief. It felt like bile in the back of my throat, and all I wanted to do was vomit it all out. Yet I couldn't. All I could do was stare at her for a really long time, trying to discern any memory I could get. And then she opened her mouth widely, her jaw dropping low, causing an unsettling sound of bones. And she spoke, her mouth not moving at all.
He did this to us.
The girl sobbed in front of me, and I couldn't help but feel my eyes water with how these sounds were coming out of her mouth. Especially when it was not moving at all. I could feel my breath start to pick up. The sobs held back against my chest as I stood in front of her. Become one with the tree. Find him. He did this to us.
So many others like him. So many others like us. The tree knows. It hears everything. It feels all that we feel. So it opens its doors.
Opens its doors?
You were tainted when you were killed, Isa.
Isa. Isa. That's my name.
You crawled in fresh dirt. Your body covered in the malice of someone else's stained temptation. You just wanted to go home. You just wanted to go home.
All these questions in my head earlier. How I died. Who killed me? I thought about the other questions lingering in the back of my mind. How old was I when I died? Where did it happen? And did anyone even know about it? But I seem to have forgotten the most important question that I should have asked from the beginning. Who am I?
You are Isa Fernandez. You live in Barangay Bagong Bayani. You have 2 siblings, Theo and Angel. Your mother's name is Consolacion. She has been waiting for you to come home. By tomorrow, when you have still not returned, she will file a missing report to your name, not knowing you will never come home again. You were a student. You wanted to be a doctor. You had dreams ahead of you, so you worked hard. You worked hard every day, tiring yourself out. The best part of your day was always getting home to rest. You just wanted to go home. You were only 19.
Silence. Almost every moment I spent in this place was just me in silence, listening, wondering, thinking of how much I don't know. They do say when someone's eyes are finally open to the world, it is very hard to close them again. Hearing every single word, seeing how the girl's jaw closed shut, hearing the bones bend and crack back into place, seeing myself again in those empty, clouded eyes. Funny how I say cloudy because I am now only brought to a sense of clarity, remembrance even. I am Isa Fernandez.
That you are. So many of you get lost in this part of the trail. Your spirit was wounded when you passed, and in turn, you lost sight of why you are where you are. This is why I am here. I open my doors and give you a home while you recover and remember.
I turn to the girl and then look back at the tree. I start walking towards it, standing just a few steps away. It was bigger than me, bigger than any tree surrounding it. I reached towards it, my hands feeling the rough wood. the way it felt like multiple trees embracing each other, standing together as one, creating this huge figure that stands tall in the dark, scaring away the perpetrators and leading the lost. So, there were others before me.
Many others. Many who have healed as they waited with time. That is what I offer to you. To become one with the tree is to wait with time. Justice is a friend of time and will come for those of you who are silenced.
Is that why they call you a doctor, then? Because you help them heal their wounds?
It is still with time where I have earned that title. I was not such a thing before. I just opened the doors.
Then why do they call you one?
She called me that title when she arrived at the tree.
She?
Linda. Linda Montes. She looked at the sign on the curve. She thought the DR meant doctor.
Linda Montes. She must be someone like me.
She was only 8 when she got here.
That made my heart sink. It made me feel sick that I couldn't help but fall to my knees, my hand still on the tree. There were so many stories here. So many others who were silenced like me. This place, this tree, it's given others a chance. And if I don't become one with the tree?
You remain silenced forever.
I swallowed hard, looking up at the tree. The dread I felt lingered, but with clarity came a sense of hope. I didn't want to remain silenced forever. Whatever happened to me, I did not deserve it. I am realizing that now. My memory is hazy, but the feeling is clear. It filled me with an undeniable anger, frustration, anguish, and despair.
That will be your fuel in this long wait with time.
As if she read my mind. I am Isa Fernandez, I say, looking down at my hands, the same hands that crawled away from my perpetrator. It's the same nails that clawed at dirt and cloth and skin. It slowly catches up to me like a gear being turned in my head, rusty, but still there, still present. I live in Barangay Bagong Bayani. I have 2 siblings, Theo and Angel. My mother's name is Consolacion. She has been waiting for me to come home. By tomorrow, when I have still not returned, she will file a missing report to my name, not knowing I will never come home again. I was a student. I wanted to be a doctor. I had dreams ahead, so I worked hard. I worked hard. I worked so fucking hard every day, tiring myself out. The best part of my day was always getting home to rest. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home. Something like a light inside the tree shone, slipping through the cracks as I heard the cicadas again. However, it sounded comforting. It sounded like the same cicadas I used to hear at night in our province home. And suddenly, I hear my grandma's old radio playing old songs in the silence of the night. I just wanted to go home. This is home now, Isa. We will wait with you. I looked at the tree again, and I felt safe.
And that was a wrap for episode 3 of Tales from the Catalogs. How are you guys? I hope you guys are feeling okay after all that. I know it was a, heavier episode with very distressing imagery and storytelling, so after this, I really do hope you take care of yourselves. Get some water, tea, something to help you feel better, and, just process for a while. Anywho, that is a wrap. Make sure to follow our socials for more updates. We have a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We also have our TikTok that will be updated real soon, so stay tuned for updates on, on our social medias we mentioned. And we also have our Spotify and YouTube, so check out everything. You can re-listen to season 1 and 2 there. And I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys. Bye-bye. Take care.